Welcome back, everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Cafe Enchante. In the last episode of Rindo's route, we learned some backstory, learned what happened to his sister, and then had a little bit of an ominous interaction with Mikado, where he got a promotion? And I have a feeling he's gonna do something stupid. I have a feeling he's gonna do something desperate. Just based on past experiences we had. But yeah, well, for now though, we're going on a date with Mr. Rindo. So let's start things off on a high note. Let's go out on a date. A few days have passed since Mr. Rindo's sudden invitation. In his sports car. And now I'm sitting in the passenger seat in Mr. Rindo's car. Can't stop myself from looking at Mr. Rindo driving the car. It isn't so hard for me to strike up a conversation when we're at Enchante, but can't seem to get myself to talk to him. Awkward. Really awkward. We don't know how to deal with experienced older men. Even though technically most of the regulars are older. Except for Ignis. This feels so weird. You look a little tense there. Just sit back and relax. But it does feel a bit awkward sitting here like this. I mean, being with you is... Is it because we're on a date? No need to glare at me like that. Just smile and enjoy the ride. A date. That word coming out of Mr. Rindo is the very reason why I'm like this. Mind you, I am a girl. This feels really weird to be with him on a date like this. Not to mention his serious tone back then isn't helping. Kotone. Let's go out on a date. Just said it out of the blue. Felt like I wasn't getting the full story. Then again, he was looking straight into my eyes. I doubt any girl can refuse such a sweet smile so close to your face. Well, he is a lot older, so maybe he just said it without much thought of this being a date. It's a pretty big deal to me, though. Such a big deal that I kept trying to find the perfect clothes to wear today. Don't she like only have two outfits? She has like her regular clothes and her work clothes. I've only seen her wear those two outfits. But wearing something special for today felt like I was looking too forward to it. So I ended up wearing my everyday clothes. But your nails look cute today. Oh. I felt my heart jump as he took notice of the one part I figured I should prep for today. He's attentive. Oh, that's right. Sorry to ask, but... Oh, what is it? Didn't any of your guardians question why you're dressed up so cute today? I wouldn't have thought they'd interrogate you and forbid you from going out like this. Well, is someone stalking us? Usually they send like someone behind us to watch. I let out a chuckle. To be honest, they did sort of interrogate me. Here, Kotone. A gift from me to you. A personal alarm? It's for your protection with Rindo. If he does anything strange, press it. I'll be there in a flash for the beatdown. That's a bit aggressive, isn't it? Mind you, I suggest that we simply off him before he has a chance to lay his hands on you. Why are they so against Rindo? Sounds like a plan. I can cover her asses easy. I'll just toss the body in Bestia. I don't like where this is heading. I can go with you as a compromise to their plan. I just need to cover my armor with something. I'd actually freak out if I found you following me like that. There you have it. They were willing to let me leave on my own in the end. I'm glad they trust me, but I guess it goes to show just how much they care about you. But their care is more like treating me like some kind of kid. They were like overly cautious parents trying to warn their child of all the threats in the world before the first day of school. I think they're worried about you because you aren't a kid. Huh? Disregard that. Now then, we're just around the corner from our destination. Huh? Really? Come to think of it, I don't even know where we're headed yet. Huh? I didn't tell you. Sorry about that. So, where are we going? Actually, let me ask you, where do you think we're headed? Mr. Rindo lets out a childish smile as we make a turn. I bet he's purposely trying to hide where we're headed. Wonder where we're going. Where would Mr. Rindo take me on a date? I don't know if this matters. I don't know, the guy says casual drive, so I'll pick option 3. I don't think he's taking us out on a few, like, restaurants, so I would say this would probably be the safe option. Mr. Rindo doesn't seem like a theme park kind of guy. So, I guess casual drive would be, like, the next best option. I bet you're just aimlessly driving around without much thought. Aha. I see. That's not a bad idea, really. We could just casually chat while we drive, and stop when we see something interesting. You know, that actually sounds pretty fun. Huh. Well, maybe next time. I have a certain place I want to take you. We're almost there. Why don't you check it out yourself? It should actually be a theme park. Where are we going? I anxiously wait for another 5 or so minutes before we finally arrive. And we're here. Once we get out, we'll need to ride the elevator to the top. Huh? Where are we? We take the elevator to the top floor, then walk down a lavish-looking hallway that leads me to a door. What? Inside a white-walled room. Oh. The room is minimalistic in its decor. A sofa, some plants to color the room, and not much else. Is this an apartment? Looks like a fancy high-rise apartment. Could this place be... Without further ado, welcome to my home, Kotone. Oh. Wait. You don't just take a girl to your house on the first date. No, wait a few times before doing that. Huh? You live here? According to Mr. Rindo, he lives in this luxury apartment, which is located only 15 minutes from the GPM headquarters. I can see the business buildings around Shinjuku from here. I bet this place is really expensive. This place is really convenient. The only problem is that I only use this place as a room to sleep in. Oh, that's a waste. The train station is nearby too. This is a really nice place. But why did you bring me here? I thought we were out on a date. Oh well, it's a date in my home. A home date? This is something I never expected to experience in my life, ever. I figured it'd be nice just to cozy here instead of running around outside. Rindo does a lot of running around outside. I see. Well, why don't you take a seat? I'll get us something to drink. What would you like? Oh, right. I'm fine with whatever. I go ahead and take a seat on his sofa. There isn't much for me to do now. Simply sit and look around the room like a curious kitten. This place is so huge. That's about all I can think of. Come to think of it, besides Il and Canis, I think this is the first time I've stepped into a guy's room. On top of that, I'm here on a date with a bachelor. Now that I've had the time to digest the situation. Wait a sec! This is really awkward! Oh, did I make you nervous bringing you here? A reply comes from the kitchen to respond to my words that spilled out from me. I hurriedly nod in the empty room. Yes. I mean, I know it's your place, but I am intruding in your home. Hahaha. I see. I know it may not feel natural, but try to relax as if it were your own home. I know he means well, but it really isn't helping. I don't have anything to do, so I'm kind of bored, but I can't just wander around the place. Does he have a TV? Doesn't look like he has a TV. And so, I decide to imagine how Mr. Rindo spends his time here. He's done with work and comes home. He takes off his suit over there. He washes his hands and grabs a small bite before sitting down on his sofa. Oh, that's right. I'm sitting on this sofa now. This is a lot more embarrassing than I thought. Then I began to notice something odd about this place, or rather, his home. This room is too clean. It's like a showroom. I'm not sure if I'm looking at this right, but I don't see anything here that represents Mr. Rindo as a person. I wonder what Mr. Rindo does in his spare time. I guess it's entirely possible that he's a minimalist and likes his place sparkling clean. I can never do that. My place is just like full of stuff scattered around. It's like dirt from shoes. I always have to like vacuum all the time. But yeah, it would be nice to keep like the room clean like this. Feels like it'd be less stress without stuff scattered about. Anyway, based on what I know, I think he enjoys driving, or maybe he likes watching movies. He probably reads a lot of books too. Honestly, it's so much easier to read Il's room than this place. I know Il's room is like my room. It's just completely cluttered with all sorts of games and memorabilia. Miser also said that Mr. Rindo keeps secrets, so I doubt the others know about his place here. Oh wait, Grandpa must have known this place. Mr. Rindo comes back from the kitchen as I continue eyeing his home curiously. Here you go, I got you a cup of tea instead of coffee. I hope you like it. Thank you. As I left my cup to take a sip, I decided to ask him what's been on my mind. Mr. Rindo, your house is so clean. It's almost like you haven't used this place. Mr. Rindo nods in response. Yeah, I didn't have much to begin with. I also requested the place be cleaned before I arrived. You requested cleaning? Is he talking about a housekeeper? You can do that, you know. It's a little pricey, but my mom actually like ordered a housekeeper because she was so fed up. Like when she broke her arm, she said it was like the best thing ever. We got the whole house clean because my dad doesn't really know how to clean. Then suddenly, wait, what? Huh? I hear a voice coming from another room. I freeze in place out of fear. Wait, is the housekeeper here? Ah, what timing. I'll introduce you. Just give me 1 second. My mind starts racing once I see Mr. Rindo go into the other room. Clean. Introduce? I'm sure I heard a voice. The voice was high-pitched. Which means... Oh, you're thinking too hard, Kotone. I know I shouldn't let it get to me, but I look at the room expecting a girl to appear. I'm interested in his lifestyle, but... unlike the others I live with, I don't know anything about his daily life. I simply thought he was a single man when I came here, but... I haven't really confirmed for a fact whether Mr. Rindo is really single or not. Could it be? I'm not sure if it's the right comparison, but Mikado did have a girlfriend. So maybe Mr. Rindo has one too? I don't think he would suggest a date if he did, but let's see. I recall he didn't really say much when I asked him whether he was popular with the girls back when we took that walk. Thanks for waiting. Let me introduce you. Yes! I jump at his appearance. I stand up from the sofa and quickly turn around to find... What? It's one of the Kuri statues! Oh god, what voice did I give him? I forgot, it's been so long since I've, like, seen these guys. Oh, Lady Kotone! It's been a while since we last met, Huh? You're that one from Amasaki Island! A familiar figure jumps onto me upon recognizing who I am. Alright, so it's not a girl. It's that non-human from the island. I was not expecting to see these guys again. A Kuri? Why is a Kuri here? No, wait. I slowly turn my head towards Mr. Rindo standing next to me as I try to wrap my head around all this. Who is he? She? Is she your wife? What? Where the hell did that come from? I don't know. Mr. Mikado has coups, so we just jumped to that conclusion. That maybe Rindo's dating a clay statue. Wife? Indeed you are correct. After all, I have done an excellent job tending and caring for this home, Stop it right there. Don't make me out as a married man. According to Mr. Rindo, the incident that occurred at Amasaki Island was so huge that he needed to explain to others what happened. So he had one of the Kuri come with him to help with the explanation. Now he just has it here. He was planning on having him stay at the GPM, but he wasn't let in due to circumstances. So Mr. Rindo housed and cared for him until the GPM correspondence concluded. Unbelievable. What kind of circumstances? Huh. I guess that makes sense. Yes, and here I am now! I wanted to also give my thanks to you, Lady Kotone, so I asked Rindo to bring you here, So the reason why we're having a date here is... so I can meet him in person? I don't even know if this is like the same statue we talked to before. I look towards Mr. Rindo only to find that he's staring back at me. I actually did want this to be a real date, but... I figured it's not a good idea to invite you here alone. So I figured it'd be best to bring him here so that he has a chance to thank you. I see. But it wouldn't have hurt for you to just tell me that. I know. Made Kotone just... mind has gone off on a total tangent. Like, what is he doing? Why is he taking me home? I'm scared. Huh. Well, now, I did want to see how you'd react to the date part. Okay, just wanted to see us get flustered. He smiles at me childishly, as if he was enjoying this wild ride. Guess the way he can laugh off what's going on is what makes him who he is. I must say, I am so honored that I have the chance to meet you again! Our race would have been wiped out if it wasn't for your help. Thank you so very much. He extends his shivering hand to me for a handshake. I extend my pointer finger in response. Heh, you're welcome. He grabs my finger and shakes his hand vigorously. How are the other Kuris doing? Doing great! We've returned to our home since the wormhole is gone now. Masaki Island is back to its peaceful state, That's good to hear. I heard how things are going for Mr. Rindo, but I was worried since my parents' home was around there too. So, I know it's odd to ask now, but can I get your name? Not knowing his name is a bit inconvenient, but he simply shakes his head in response. I don't have one! Huh? Really? They don't identify themselves by names. It's a little hard to keep track of them, so he simply codenamed them at the GPM. Codename? Makes them sound like they're lab rats. So what's his codename then? It's Code 10. Code 10? Well... Can I just call you 10 then? Oh, I see. Get rid of the code and keep it as 10. Hey, you better not think that's cliché or something, Mr. Rindo. I recall his reaction back when Kaoru was named. Ha ha ha, I have nothing to say. 10 is a nice name for him. Indeed! It has a nice ring to it. Really? Well, good to know. It's a relief knowing that he likes the name. I let out a sigh of relief to which Mr. Rindo claps his hands together. The tea must have gone cold. Why don't I get a fresh cup ready? There's more that we have to talk about. Oh, Rindo! I'd like some hot wine! Wine, a type of alcohol beverage made by fermenting grape juice. Okay, in case you don't know what wine is. However, a cafe cannot legally serve alcohol without a full restaurant business permit. I know you gotta get all your alcohol licenses before you can serve alcohol. They're very, very strict about that. Well, aren't you fancy? Sure thing. Mr. Rindo reaches down to clear the table of the cold tea. Oh, do you mind if I help? You gladly accept my offer. This is much better than me simply sitting here doing nothing. I step into the kitchen area and it's something spectacular. The kitchen is breathtaking as expected from this place. Can I see the kitchen? Just the counter. Just very clean counter with some wine and salt and pepper. But there's nothing here. The kitchen is very spacious, but that only made it easier to notice how barren it is. No dish, no spices, no dishes, no nothing. I don't see any pots, pans, knives, plates, anything. How do you cook with nothing in here? I usually just eat outside, like when I go to your cafe. But what if you want to eat at home? Like, maybe breakfast? I just go to sleep. I'm not much of a breakfast person anyway. Huh, really? I saw Mr. Rindo as a well-organized adult, but this is unexpected. I think he's like way too busy to even do that. If I'm busy, I usually go without eating or take a drink supplement. I even had one this morning. But I know how to cook. I used to spend a lot of time cooking, so I might be better than most other cooks. Huh. He knows how to cook, but he chooses not to? Definitely not something I do. Eating outside is good, but I think food you prepare yourself is more enjoyable since you know how you like it. Huh. I hear what you're saying, but I'm kinda lazy, you know. Mr. Rindo brings out a can of fresh tea leaves. He suddenly stops moving. I know. Not for another hour. But why don't we make lunch today? With what? Are we gonna buy, like, his whole kitchen set? And so, now that I'm out with Mr. Rindo buying food and cooking utensils for our lunch, wow, from scratch, literally from scratch. But wait, if you buy this, you'll get another piece free. Perfect for couples. I think it'd be perfect for you two. Couple? Huh, I see. I'm sold. I have to get the matching pair of these then. My pleasure! Mr. Rindo isn't denying we're couples. Well, correcting the salesperson of our relationship isn't gonna change anything, but it's just gonna make things more awkward. I can't believe the salesperson's words didn't faze him at all. Pretty awkward if you ask me. I sneak a peek at his face, but he looks calm as usual. Maybe it's just me getting caught up with the small details. Or maybe it's because he's an adult. The very fact that I'm bothered by his reaction and how he can keep his cool is so frustrating. Did you say something? Nothing at all. I mean, the age gap between us is pretty huge, but we still look like a couple to others. I mean, it's a handsome guy. Maybe he just likes younger women. Who's there to judge among consenting adults? I tilt my head as I keep thinking about it. Ah. Oh. Okay. I like how it's just their portraits, just kinda texturized. I suddenly take notice in the mirror in the shop that reflects us standing together. Salesperson is wrapping the dishes. Mr. Rindo is talking to him casually. I'm standing there looking at the mirror. I can tell through the reflection that we aren't the same age, but he doesn't look like my father or brother. Of course, we don't look alike, but Mr. Rindo's youthful appearance is probably why we don't look related. Particularly, he's wearing his hair down and is dressed casually, which is making him look way younger than expected. I guess I can't blame the salesperson for mistaking us from a couple. I wonder what Mr. Rindo thoughts are of being mistaken as a couple. Looks like Miser and the other non-humans have lived decades. They probably don't even count exactly how old they are already. But Mr. Rindo is a human. Maybe he sees me as a kid or even his younger sister. This is so weird. I can't seem to explain the stuffy feeling I'm overcome with. Speaking of stuffy feelings, I have to blow my nose. Trying to like drag it. There we go. Trying to dislodge it, but I don't want to blast your eardrums. I'm stuck wondering what this feeling that's pulsing within me. Oh, you're getting a crush, girl. Alright, next step, food. Oh, yes. Before I knew it, Mr. Rindo has finished paying for the dishes and beckons me to follow him outside. I look back at the mirror behind me. I see Mr. Rindo and myself. I feel a subtle yet sharp pain run through me. She's fallen in love. It's now close to lunchtime. We finished buying all the groceries and supplies, so we need to start cooking. We're now ready to cook. Oh, hello. Good to see you with an apron on. Mr. Rindo, that's quite something. I look at his cooking skills as I work on some of the ingredients. He's a lot more skilled than I thought he would be. A man who could do it all. Kotone, snap him up right now. You know how hard these kind of men are to find. Oh well. There was a time when I was convinced guys who knew how to cook can get girls. I'd rather not think back on how I used to see things, but I'm happy you appreciate my cooking. We continue talking idly as preparations continue. Kotone, can you hand me the pepper? Here you go. Thank you. Seeing his warm smile is making me smile too. Heh. What is it? Nothing. I just thought you looked like you're having fun. He shrugs as if he doesn't notice it himself, and he works on the recipe. Well, today is special. It's a lot different when you have someone cooking with you. Someone? Oh, you mean me? Of course. Great to hear that from him. That said, I doubt he means anything by it. But hearing him say special is making it hard for me to hold back my smile. Great. Rindo! Can I get some eats with that hot wine? Some eats? Coming. Now we should get to work on the can't say that word. Working on the carpaccio. He opens the olive oil we just bought, and before I knew it, the carpaccio is done. I'm starting to think that Mr. Rindo is a better cook than I am. I'm anxious knowing he's a better cook than me, not just as a person, but as a cook at Enchante. Then again, seeing Mr. Rindo having fun cooking is bringing a smile to my face. Soon after, we finish our lunch and now we're sipping our drinks as we begin talking amongst ourselves. Before we knew it, it's getting dark outside. What a day! Feel like I haven't been this relaxed in ages. Same here. Well, I'm glad you look relaxed now. And look, we got someone maybe too relaxed there. What a wonderful day! Is he drunk? He's been asking for hot wine a lot. Maybe it's just me, but Ten looks kinda drunk. Like, can clay statues get drunk? I'm, most definitely not drunk! Uh-huh! Oh boy. Yep, he's drunk alright. Huh. What can you expect? He's been slamming wine since lunchtime. I'd like to lie down now. I hear snoring coming from Ten the moment he hits the sofa. That was quick. I never thought I'd live to see a clay doll get drunk. I'll take him to the bedroom. Well, let me clean up the table then. Will you? Thanks. We have a lot of things in the kitchen now. Aside from the dishes I'm washing, the place is filled with various spices and ingredients, plates, and utensils. That was fun, I whispered to myself. We went shopping together and cooked ourselves a nice lunch. Didn't matter that the date was centered around 10 and I meeting. Yep, it was fun alright. I recall the lunch we had together as I continue washing the dishes. Mr. Rindo scooped the rice into Ten's bowl. Mr. Rindo cleaned up the water Ten spilled too. It was almost like a father who was taking care of his son's messes. Oh no, you're looking at him as a dad. You're thinking of the future. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a kid riding on Mr. Rindo's shoulders. Can't help but smile at the thought of that. I pause for a bit as I think about something I forgot from earlier because of Ten's appearance. I wonder if Mr. Rindo has a girlfriend. Based on what I know so far, I doubt he's married, but I'm not sure about the girlfriend part. Not that I could ask him straight to his face. I know that would just imply things. I wonder if Mr. Rindo is going out with someone. Huh? Oh, didn't I tell you? Oops. What? I jump back awkwardly as he completely catches me off guard. Let your inner thoughts out. Hahaha. Did I scare you? So you're done with the dishes? Yes. Not that there were many to wash. After giving my thanks for today, I sit on the sofa at the same time Mr. Rindo takes a seat. So is Ten asleep now? I tried to avert attention away from what I mumbled by trying to change the subject. Yes, sound asleep all right. I suppose this day drinking and your company did the trick. Heh, glad I could help. So, you were saying something about me going out with someone, right? Mr. Rindo isn't going to just let the subject slide, is he? We don't need to talk about it. Heh, don't worry about it. Though for the record, I don't have a girlfriend. Not to mention, I have other things on my mind. like Shizuku. Oh. My heart jumps hearing Shizuku's name. The last time he brought up her name was when we were talking about her a few days back. His younger sister had turned into a non-human, and he was this close to putting her down. I can only imagine how emotionally scarred he is from such a traumatic experience. It probably changed his entire life. Oh. Is that why this place is so empty? Maybe he lost all interest in material things because he's constantly thinking about her. No, my speculation is probably way off base. In any case, I'm sure he feels stuck in time and hasn't been able to move on. And that applies to Mikado, too. Girlfriend. Well, I wouldn't mind if you were my girlfriend, Kotone. Mr. Rindo stares at me and laughs. I think he's trying to lift our spirits. As if he's trying to hide his feelings. So how about it? How'd you like to go steady with an old-timer like me? I can't do anything for him. I had no involvement in what had happened. But why? Why am I so irritated and angry? That would explain why I'm going to say, if I said yes in reply to what you asked, then what? I looked straight into his eyes. Oh, he wasn't. What? Probably didn't expect me to say that. Probably just expected her to get flustered. Unlike the usual Mr. Rindo, he's just sitting there, frozen with his mouth open. Wait, why do I have a cold sweat? What in the world did I say? I know it was by impulse, but this is so embarrassing. I want to scream and take back what I said, but that'll only make my blushing worse. I decided to scream inside of my head, while holding a calm and serene front as I kept looking at him. Okay, you go, girl. You scream inside that head of yours. Mr. Rindo breaks the silence. Well, you know... good to hear. That was unexpected. God, there's so much tension. So much awkwardness and tension. If I was my usual self, I'd most likely say that Miser would be angry hearing what he said, but... Well, hey, we bought a lot of kitchen stuff, didn't we? You're absolutely right. I nod and let out a sigh of relief hearing Mr. Rindo change the subject forcefully. You just kept buying things without a single thought. It was very surprising. Haha, you really think so? Yes, I do. The clay pot you bought was pretty pricey. Well, I don't shop too often. I guess I was just having fun while I had the chance. It's like typical office worker. Like, in Japan, you just like hear about them working super long hours, and then like, when do they have time to spend the money that they make? They like don't really get to enjoy anything. They just work. Then again, thank you for buying all of them. They all came in handy making those great meals today. No problem at all. Glad you enjoyed it. Mr. Rindo smiles and nods, hearing my reply. I should cook more often so none of these purchases go to waste. You should! Your cooking was absolutely wonderful, Mr. Rindo. In particular, I wouldn't mind having the aquapazza you made again. I bring out the dish that stood out from the meals he made, to which his eyes widen. Ah! I start to blush, understanding what I seem to have implied with my response. Again, Mr. Rindo simply responds like he usually does. He let out a broad and bright smile. I see. Well, I guess all that cooking I did before didn't go to waste. Seeing you happy makes me happy too. Alright. Better buy some extra supplies just in case you happen to stop by again. Time continues to pass, and before I knew it, the evening sky has gone completely dark. All I'm doing now is looking up into the night sky, marveling its brilliance amid the room's darkness. As for Mr. Rindo, he went into another room, simply stating that he'd be right back with something. I figured I should sit tight to find out what this something is. Pretty, ain't it? The view from up here was worth the cost of this place. Ah, Mr. Rindo. I look at him to see him holding it in his hand. A letter. It's from Grandpa? I could tell immediately by the handwriting used for to Rindo. Yes, it's a letter Sawan gave me before he left. Or left us, rather. He urges me to read it. I slowly unfold the letter. Oh. To Rindo was written after that was what was written after that was the grandpa I've known my whole life. He tells Mr. Rindo to eat healthy when he's not eating an Enchante. He says to find a hobby. He ends by telling Mr. Rindo to live a more fulfilling life. After he finished telling Mr. Rindo his concerns, Grandpa writes about me in the following section. He asked Mr. Rindo to take care of me in case he passes away, and I take ownership of the cafe. Oh. He also mentions that Mr. Rindo can take care of the gate if it's too much for me. The letter gave me insight into the relationship Grandpa and Mr. Rindo had. That's so Grandpa. He's pretty consistent in how he talks to everyone. He didn't bother you too much, did he? Memories of Grandpa flood my mind. It's making me both happy and sad. Mr. Rindo gently pats me on the head as I wipe the tears rolling down my cheeks. Not at all. He was always kind and was like a second father to me. Swan used to talk about you quite a lot. I was pretty interested in getting to know who you were. Really? He nods in response. Mr. Swan mentioned that he'd be happy if you took over the cafe. But he also wanted you to live a normal life like any other girl out there. He knew both sides of non-humans well enough to trust and be wary of them. He insisted I help you out if you ever wanted to live a normal life like everyone else. Which is why I think he gave me this letter instead of making one for the non-human regulars at the cafe. His words jogs my memory back to when I first met Mr. Rindo. Come to think of it, I recall you saying that before. Something about putting more thought into my relationship with the Enchante patrons. Swan's words stayed with me. To be honest, I'd been worried about it ever since I read that. What about now? Is that even a question? You look happy with how things are now. I also know the guys who come to Enchante are good, but they're still non-humans. Their lives and lifespans, even the way they're born, it's also different from normal humans. Can't just turn a blind eye to them. Even Swan wasn't able to be with them until the very end. Which is why I agree with Swan. You want a normal, happy life? I'll do what I can to help. Then again, if you're happy with how things are now, I doubt that'll cross your mind. A normal, happy life. I recall when I went shopping with Mikado, Il, and the other patrons, I was wondering what it's like to be normal. But I still don't know what being normal really means to me. What is normal to me now? It's to live every day as the owner of Cafe Enchante. Mr. Rindo, do you mind if I ask what a normal, happy life is to you? Huh? To me? Mr. Rindo eyes blink in a flurry as if he didn't expect me to ask him that. Yes, Mr. Rindo, your normal life is filled with non-humans, right? Your work is about them too. I thought our lives aren't that different. Mr. Rindo folds his arms together and grimaces. You're right. I never recognized that. I nod in response. Kotone. Oh, well, hello. Soak it in a little bit, for those who like the older men look. Handsome older anime boy look, rather. The kind of life I'm referring to is one in which you live like a normal human girl. He pulls me in closer to him and continues very gently. I could tell immediately he drew me in to get a point through. You and I, we live on borrowed time. And you probably don't notice that being with the regulars at Enchante. If you live alongside them, sooner or later, the concept of time will catch up with you. You can't be with them forever. The day will come when you'll find out that humans and non-humans are not alike. So, I want you to live a life as a normal human. Don't ever forget that a normal, happy life is within your reach. Always. His words are kind and gentle, but I can tell what drove him to say that to me is a strong regret within him. He may see my life similar to what happened between Mr. Mikado and Shizuku. He doesn't want me in a relationship like that. Mr. Rindo looks at me with stern eyes. I look back without shifting my eyes. Well, please don't forget what it means to have a normal, happy life too, Mr. Rindo. And that goes for your home life, your environment, and your love life. You seem to have the tendency of putting others before you. And I know very well why he does that. It's because of Shizuku. His beloved sibling turned into a non-human. He was about to kill her. But he couldn't pull the trigger. All he could do was suffer and carry on living his life. Maybe he's trying to avoid happiness. Mr. Rindo frowns in pain hearing my words. He tries to respond as best as he can. Well then, maybe we should find what it means to be happy together. Uh-huh. Uh-oh. I can hear his breath. I can even feel his breath on my lips. Oh, we getting cock blocked by the phone. Rip. There was so much tension there. No, a sudden ringing of a phone breaks us apart in a flash. Then... what timing. Mr. Rindo lets out a chuckle as he taps his smartphone display. Yes, this is Rindo. Hell police? Is this Miser? Oh no. Hello, it's the Hell Police. I called sensing that this Rindo character is about to do something evil to a girl. That's Miser's voice. Wait a second. Are they all watching what's happening here somehow? I have a feeling yes. The timing of that call couldn't have been more perfect. Did they see me and Mr. Rindo? Dude, no privacy. Jeez. About to kiss. Then suddenly, I noticed my heart racing like crazy. My heart is pounding so strong that I seriously think my heart is gonna pump itself out of my mouth. What am I? I place my hand on my cheeks as I take a few deep breaths and try to calm myself down. Mind you, that was, just him lecturing me. There's nothing between us. It's not like we had an intimate moment just now. I forced myself to try and forget about my heartbeat and look at Mr. Rindo only to find him talking on the phone. Oh, it's you. Did you think I'd do something like that? Oh, Ignis. Oh, yeah. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Rindo's position is that of a minor enemy character in an otome game. Enemy? Well, isn't that something? But you said minor, too. If I'm an enemy, make me a big one. They're just all on speaker. And if that was the case, we would strike you down. Now then, if you want to be cleared, then let us talk with Kotone. Whatever. I'll send her off so you guys can ask her yourself. The clamor coming from the other side of the phone is being ignored. Mr. Rindo hangs up. Well, that's that. Those guys, I tell you. Mr. Rindo has his usual expression again, and he lets out a sigh. He's back to his usual adult form again. Alright. Looks like that word's worried sick. So let me take you home, okay? If I leave now... Is Mr. Rindo gonna live his life as usual again, with his adult front? Does that mean he's not going to... think about his own happiness? Various thoughts come to mind. But I don't know what to say, and the guys in Enchante are waiting for me. And so... I nod in confirmation to his words. Oh, alright, going to Rindo's perspective now. Didn't take me long to drive her back to Cafe Enchante. I let out a sigh, seeing my room as empty as it is. With her gone, this empty room feels even emptier now. Happiness, huh? Today's date meant a lot to me. Oops. Mash the A button. Of course, I wanted to ask her out so I could have her meet the Kuri, but I also wanted her to be close to a human. This is all to help her recognize how fun it is to be with other humans. My initial motive was to escort her and give her a fair warning. Yes. I wasn't with her just as another smiling patron at our cafe. I was Kaoru Rindo of the GPM today. And yet... I found out that I wasn't associating myself with other humans any more than she was. I tried to convince her, but instead she convinced me. It made me realize I was trying to avoid my own happiness. It's true that I began putting everything else before myself ever since I lost Shizuku. Regardless of the reason, and regardless of the result, that incident blemished my soul, and it festered before I can even recognize it. That's when I began to turn my eyes from happiness, which would explain why I lost interest in everything. Just drowned himself in his work. I know that feeling. Even so, how odd. Today's date was... fun. She's much younger than me. She blinded me with her light. I wanted to keep my eyes on her. Unbelievable. I rake my hair up with my fingers as I look at the sofa she was sitting on. I let out a huge sigh. Alright, back to Kotone's perspective. Whew. I headed to my room and crashed on my bed the moment Mr. Rindo dropped me off at Enchante. Well, to be specific, Miser and the gang were interrogating me before that. It was quite an ordeal, but I somehow made it through. I guess I should be lucky I have people worried about me like that. I let out a chuckle as I recalled the questioning. I guess the fact that the Kuri, 10, was with me was enough for them to trust what happened. At the very least, I am assured that Mr. Rindo won't get jumped by these guys. What's their problem? Like, when one of them, like, starts getting an interest in Kotone, they're just like, okay, Mr. Rindo. They're like, get him! Bully the weak one. Then again, I made sure I didn't disclose certain parts that happened. Oh. I got super close. That was so embarrassing. I can feel my heart racing again just thinking about how close we were. I shake my head to get the thought out. Then I grab my pillow with my arms and roll onto my back so I'm looking at the ceiling. Also, I know the guys who come to Enchante are good, but they're still non-humans. Their lives and lifespans, even the way they're born, it's all so different from normal humans. We can't turn a blind eye to them. Even Swan wasn't able to be with them until the very end. Which is why I agree with Swan. If you want a normal, happy life, I'll do what I can to help. Then again, if you're happy with how things are now, I doubt that'll cross your mind. A normal and happy life. I guess he's right that I've gotten used to how things are ever since I took over Enchante. I went to Medio. I went to Bestia. Things happened back at Amasaki Island near my home. Now that I think about it, I sure have gone through a lot. Happiness. Well, I used to dream about becoming an idol or a florist or a patissier when I was young. You know, what girls usually dream about. But as I grew older, my dreams slowly faded. By the time I was at my old job, I wasn't really thinking of anything. I mean, I didn't ever dream of taking over Enchante until my grandpa passed away. I wonder what it means to be happy. Having a romantic relationship isn't the only thing that leads to happiness. But will I follow that path one day too? Meeting someone and falling in love. Wearing a wedding dress and standing at the altar surrounded by flowers. I know it's weird, but I can't imagine that ever happening to me. Well, not like I have a special someone. A message came in. I stood up to check who it came from. Mr. Rindo? I hurriedly opened the message. The message said that 10 was sad when he discovered I wasn't there anymore. It also says that he wanted to give me a gift before I left Mr. Rindo's place. With 10 completely drunk from all that wine. He's sort of regretting that he couldn't see me before I left. Oh well. I chuckled to myself, but as I read the last few sentences... Huh? I nearly dropped my smartphone as I started reading it. It said that Mr. Rindo is considering bringing Ten to Enchante. But since Ten is under GPM surveillance, he can't let him leave his home without proper approvals. So... he asked me to come by again to his home, and next time... he'll have something prepared and ready. I could go to Mr. Rindo's place again. It's like an excuse to get you back to his home. To be honest, I'm pretty darn happy. I mean, I was having a lot of fun back there. I can help with the cooking again. Or maybe we could watch a movie or even watch the latest drama series on TV. Huh. Wait a second. I noticed that I'm getting all excited thinking about going back there. Does that mean that I'm actually wanting to see Mr. Rindo again? Maybe. This is what it means to have a normal and happy life. And maybe I'm in love? Oh, come now. Finding happiness isn't this simple. That's right. Mr. Rindo is way older than me. There's no way I can manage a relationship with an older man. Wait a second. Why am I thinking him as a partner? Then again, Miser and the others have been living much longer than me. So in comparison, the age difference between me and Mr. Rindo is like nothing, and... Huh. Why am I trying to rationalize this? That wasn't even a good reason. I keep rolling around the bed, never quite finding comfort. After a while, I finally regain my cool as I go back and read the message from Mr. Rindo. I'd love to see you again at my place if that's alright with you. I can't hold myself back. I somehow force myself from smiling, and I reply back to him, yes, I'd love to come back. Oh. Alright, a few days pass. Miser and the others were looking at me and kept asking if I was okay because it looked like I was acting weird. Well, today is the day I'm going to go to Mr. Rindo's house again. I felt bad having him come down to pick me up, so instead I'm taking the train and walking to his place. Well, hello there. Hello. I let out a sigh of relief as I entered Mr. Rindo's home. I have to admit, despite coming here once already, the luxurious exterior of this place is making me nervous. I couldn't even use the elevator here without getting in contact with the intercom. The lobby area even has a concierge who greets the guests once inside. This place is luxury through and through. I'm just awed by the service and luxury. Something I don't have in my life. Lady Kotone! I've been waiting for you, huh? Oh, Ten! I'm sorry about last time. I bend myself down to look face to face with Ten as he jumps happily.
Not at all! I'm sorry I got so drunk.
You came at the right time. I'll get the plates ready. So why don't you two have a seat? Oh, let me help! Don't worry, I can handle myself. Mr. Rindo waves me to sit down and he goes to the kitchen. Well, I guess Mr. Rindo is back to his old self again. But after what happened the last time... Well, you know, stuff kind of happened back then. I was a bit nervous as to how I should approach seeing him again, but... I guess he really is an adult, considering how he's already moved on from it. Mr. Rindo came back with a gorgeous meal in his hands for us to enjoy. I can assure you, Ten and I are enjoying Mr. Rindo's home cooking. That was really good. Thank you very much.
It was absolutely magnificent! Thank you, Rindo!
I'm glad to hear that. Mr. Rindo lets out a huge grin as he clears the plates and sets up for tea time.
Rindo, your cooking is absolutely to die for! Splendid indeed, uh-huh!
Hearing Ten's words of praise, I glance towards Mr. Rindo. Well, I didn't realize how much I made since I was just having fun. Mind you, I've been cooking meals since you last came. He hasn't been eating well for all these years. Knowing that Mr. Rindo is cooking for himself again made me feel warm inside.
I must say, not being able to enjoy your meals anymore will be quite saddening.
Huh? Why is that? Ten has to go back to Amasaki Island since we're done with his questioning now. Really?
Indeed! To be precise, that decision was made only a short while ago.
I got a call from the GPM about it just before you arrived. Oh, that's quite sudden. Well, the GPM is really by the book, so they aren't very flexible, so to speak. Ten nods repeatedly as I sit there in disbelief.
Which is why I am extremely happy that I had the chance to see you again like this.
And with that, Ten runs off to the corner of the room and comes back with something in hand. Ten places it in my hand, a very small clay doll that looks just like him. I guess you could say it's like a mini curry.
A mini curry idol just for you!
A mini curry idol? Almost like gives me the thought that like they just make their own children. They're like Gorons. They just make themselves out of clay or rock.
It's a trinket made using Amasaki Island clay that brings fortune and increases business. Please take it, uh-huh.
I guess I'm right when I thought it looked like a small 10. It looked cute on the counter back in Enchante. Thank you! I'll put it to good use. Ah, speaking of idols. That weird alien wooden figure that Mikado gave me crosses my mind. Oh right, they give you the weird octopus thing. I wonder how he's doing. I haven't seen him for a while now. I guess that's not unusual considering he isn't like a regular that comes to visit Enchante. What's the matter? Oh, I was wondering how Mikado is doing. Mikado? I'm not sure. You haven't seen him recently either? I haven't. Our bosses happened to promote him pretty recently. Really? That's amazing! Heh, right? Well, Mikado has been with the GPN for years now. So I guess he's been busy trying to hand off whatever work he has remaining. Now that you mention it, I think today is the day his new assignment starts. Not sure if this has to do with his new assignment, but I hope his research offers better results. In particular, in relation to Ku. I guess Mr. Rindo and I are thinking about the same thing as I notice his sullen expression. I can only hope so too. He is a genius, who knows what that brain of his is coming up with. That said, I've lived long enough to sort of balance out my own expectations and reality. But what if there was a way to turn a former human back into their human form again? When that happens... Whoops! Looks like Ten's courier arrived. Rindo stands up to go and answer the intercom. A uniformed man appears in the display. Mr. Rindo goes to the door to greet the GPM. Well, I guess it's time.
How sad it is.
Ten's tension suddenly drops to an all-time low. I lift him up in my hands and look into his eyes. I'm sure I'll meet you again back in Amasaki Island. My parents' home is nearby, you know.
Lady Kotone!
Filled with emotions, Ten reaches out and embraces my cheek. The door flies open. Just subordinate. Excuse me, I've come to retrieve Kuri, Kotone. Kotone? His abrupt and cold tone made me look towards Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo is back in the room with a frown on his face and then walks slowly towards Ten. Are you both done? Yes.
I'm ready to go!
Mr. Rindo takes Ten from my hands and slowly rubs his head with his fingers. He then hands him over to the GPM. Be careful when you take him back. They're quite sensitive, so don't shake him or do anything that might scare him. Sir, understood! Despite saying that he understands, he quickly picks Ten up and places him in a small case. Huh. You're gonna take him in that? Hearing my words, Mr. Rindo's subordinate tilts his head and looks at me bewildered. Sir! And she's... she's the owner of Enchante. Nice to meet you. I nod lightly, to which his bewildered look vanishes. Ah, so she just came to see him off since they know each other. Huh? You mean this non-human? His expression changes to that of disbelief, what brings a sharp pain to my heart. Yes, so please take good care of him.
No need to worry. After all, today was the best day.
Ten responds to me with a bright tone in his words. But seeing him like that in that case makes it seem like he's merely some kind of specimen. Oh, can you put this in there? I take a handkerchief out from my purse. Figured it at least help to make things comfortable and cushion him from bouncing around in there. I think it's pretty rough and cold inside of there. Mr. Rindo lets out a smile and nods in reply. I don't see a problem with that. Consider this a gift from her to the little fellow there. Let's put it in. Sir! The subordinate frowns as he's not sure as why that's needed, but he goes ahead and places it inside. Ten happily lays the handkerchief down and lies on top of it.
How comfortable! I can't thank you enough for your kindness, Lady Kotone. Uh-huh.
Well, take care, Ten. The subordinate closes the lid upon seeing Ten wave farewell. He then places the case inside a large duffel bag before bidding farewell to Mr. Rindo. Sir, I'll transport it to Amasaki Island as ordered, if you'll excuse me. Thank you, and be careful. And with that, the man quickly leaves. A few seconds pass. Did that surprise you? No. I'm shaking my head, but I'm lying. I've never had a good impression of the GPM ever since I took over the cafe, but that was so by the books. And there was hardly any emotion there. I can see why Mr. Rindo is a sort of an irregular existence in the GPM now. Our guys there are rather unique and eccentric, so to speak. Some are genuinely interested in the non-humans and others dislike them. I'm somewhere in between. The guy I just saw lost his younger brother in an incident with a non-human. I'm not surprised that he's not very fond of non-humans in general. He lost his younger brother? Yeah. I know I mentioned it briefly before, but it's not unusual for human casualties in non-human related incidents. And that usually instigates them to join the GPM. Is that the same for you, Mr. Rindo? Did something ever happen to me? His response, cutting my phrase, makes you realize what I've just done. He's already experienced tragedy with Shizuku, but that was like while they were in the GPM, not before they joined. And now I'm delving deeper into his past over other problems that he's encountered with non-humans. I choke, knowing what I've done, and try to think of what to say. No, in my case, I joined merely due to curiosity. Fortunately, it's not because of a tragedy. In my interest in non-humans is the main reason why I wanted to join the GPM. Huh. Really? Oh, I see. Guess you weren't expecting that, huh? Ironic, considering how much I try to inform you of the differences between humans and non-humans. He chuckles for a moment. And then his eyes dull. I'm not as infatuated as Mikado, but I liked non-humans too. That is, until what happened to Shizuku. It's not like I can do anything. I can't help Shizuku. And I can't save Mr. Mikado. But... Mr. Rindo... Do you mind if I ask more about Shizuku? There's no way I could leave him alone, especially after seeing the expression on his face. Even if I was just me being selfish. He is still a regular. And a precious customer of Enchante. I am the owner of Enchante, so I have the full right to be worried about his well-being. Shizuku, I think I told you everything already. Well, not about what happened, but more like about who she was, like how she was as a child. I mean, of course, if you want to share, Mr. Rindo. Oh, please don't force yourself. I was just interested to know a bit more about her. Well now. I'm happy you're interested. I guess I can tell you a little about her. I never talked about her much with others, so this might be the time. Oh, really? Yeah. After all, Shizuku is technically dead in everyone's mind. That makes sense. There's no way he could say that she's still alive as a non-human to anyone who doesn't know about non-humans. If so, the most that the public knows would be that she's either gone missing or... But don't the people within the GPM know? What happened with Shizuku is something that would stain the upper brass's records. But... it's kept confidential, though aside from a select few, no one knows about it. Which also means that most everyone there doesn't know that Mikado's doll is actually a non-human. I guess you're about the only person I know I can talk to about Shizuku now. So thanks for giving me this opportunity. He lets out a gentle smile. Mr. Rindo begins to speak. Mr. Rindo calmly speaks about Shizuku over a cup of tea. He talks about Shizuku's birth and all the things she went through. He mentioned that she had a sense of obligation to protect her, since they were 15 years apart. He also said that he made a vow to become Shizuku's acting guardian after their parents passed away. Overall, he seemed a bit shy talking about all of this. Almost like her dad instead of her brother. He mentioned how she's usually calm and a hard worker, but also easy to scare and likes to fawn over others. He states how she loves sweets too. Mr. Rindo's eyes were as gentle as ever while talking about Shizuku. But he also looked depressed. The night arrived before I knew it. It's pretty late already. He chuckles as he looks at the clock. I'll take you back. I can only hope that they don't try to jump me when I drop you off. I couldn't immediately accept his kind offer to take me back to the cafe. The smile on Mr. Rindo's face looked forced, probably because of all the Shizuku talk. Not that me being here will help him any, but maybe staying here with him a bit longer will make him feel better. Oh, If only Mr. Rindo just asked more from me. Then again, I bet he'd simply smile like he usually does and just say that he's alright. Is it okay if I stay here longer? Huh? Hearing my words, Mr. Rindo's eyes widen. Sure, I guess, but why? I'm not sure how to say this, but I don't want you to be alone. Mr. Rindo fixes his eyes on me. Soon he begins to frown and covers his eyes with his hand. He sighs as if he was exhaling his emotions. Kotone, don't try and pamper an old guy like me. Why not? It's okay. I mean, you want to be pampered sometimes, right? I probably sound like a kid to him. My suggestion is pretty self-centered, so I assumed he'll come with his adult logic and shut me down, but instead, Mr. Rindo's face is shadowed with sorrow. I understand you really mean it when you say that, but that's only making things harder for me. You're making me remember what I once gave up. He gently rubs my cheek. My heart begins to race as I feel his hand touch me, and then... Is it those guys again? I think it's for you. It must be your dear guardians. Unbelievable. I guess I don't understand the concept of privacy. Well, they're probably not peeping on us like the last time. Hopefully. Then again, they could be eavesdropping instead. I'm sure things are fine. I mean, Miser isn't the type to do things others don't like. Huh. It's from Mikado. Mikado? Hey, Mikado? Mr. Rindo answers his phone. But... Mikado, what is it? Rindo! I'm sorry. The phone abruptly ends. What is it? I honestly have no idea. All he said was sorry before he hung up. That's a little cryptic. We both look at each other as we're both confused, already forgetting the mood we were just making. Strange. Did he break something on my desk or make a mess of something? Mr. Rindo jokingly speaks, but I could tell he was a bit worried. Alright. Going into Mr. Rindo's perspective. I glance at her sitting in the passenger seat. I ended up taking her back to Enchante after that weird call from Mikado. She was very compliant when I asked her to leave since I had things to do tomorrow. To be honest, I'm a bit relieved she obliged, but also a bit disappointed since she did too. I'm not sure what struck me back then when she said what she said earlier. If Mikado didn't call me back then, What would I have done? I need to stay calm and stay focused on the present. But if I was a bit more... I coughed to try and stop myself from completing the sentence. I wonder what my dear passenger is thinking as all this is happening. Right, back to Kotone's perspective. That was a short little blurb. Kotone? Yes? My voice comes out awkwardly as he catches me in the middle of a daydream. Were you asleep? Oh no, I was just thinking. So, what is it? Well, I was going to tell you that I got some candies in the dashboard, so help yourself. Oh, I see. Thank you very much. I don't have any reason to refuse his offer, so I reach out to... Mr. Rindo's smartphone is ringing again. Oh, always the phone. The name that appeared on the screen is... It doesn't look like it's from Mikado. That's one of my boys. I'm supposed to be on my day off, but something must have happened. Heh. This reminds me how I never really have a day off with everyone always bothering me. Mr. Rindo chuckles. He must be remembering back when I first came to Enchante. I better get this. You mind answering it with the speakerphone on? Sure. I don't want whoever to think that their boss is out with a girl. That could lead to a lot of problems. Better keep quiet and hold my breath. I answer the call with the speakerphone on. This is Rindo. Rindo's subordinate. Sir, is that you? I gasp as I hear a voice of someone in desperation. I can hear screaming coming from the background. Oh no, it's happening. Then gunshots. Sir, please, help! The call abruptly ends before he can finish his sentence. Mr. Rindo's expression stiffens. Can you call that number back? Yes. I hurriedly press on the redial icon to no avail. What should we do? Right, Mikado. His call earlier. Call him. What did he do? Got it! I tried calling him from the number that was on the history list, but the only thing we hear is the repeating of the dial tone. There's no doubt that something terrible is going on at the GPM. Mr. Rindo, we should head to the GPM headquarters right away. My thoughts exactly. But first, I'll drop you off at Enchante. But Enchante is miles out of the way. They probably need you now. But I'll wait in the car and call Miser and the gang, so don't worry about me. I'll be fine once they join us. I reason as best I can with Mr. Rindo, who silently nods with a stern look on his face. Got it. Let's go. Alright, well, reinforcements are good. Alright, back to Rindo's perspective. I definitely break the speed limit trying to reach the GPM within 5 minutes after receiving the distress call. I'm going. Il and Canis are coming, so stay put until then. I should be back in about 15 minutes or so. Understood. Please be careful. Now then. After parking the car on the side, I check to make sure I have everything on me. Phone check, gun check. I gaze up to the towering building. The GPM headquarters towers above the buildings in Shinjuku. The usually bustling building is now silent amid the cold night. That call wasn't normal, but it looks pretty calm from the outside. I know the silence doesn't match the call, which probably means things are much worse than expected. I hurriedly head inside with my guard up. Then suddenly... Egg! I'm guessing this is another subordinate. I hear screaming from amid the silence of the night. A faint resonating scream fills my ears. Oh no. The hallway is empty. That is turning to a horror game. Come on, Rindo. Maybe we should have waited for the cafe regulars. None of the lights are on. I follow my instincts directly to the R&D department where I think Mikado should be hiding. Hey, are you alright? I find one of our men on the ground. I hurry next to his side to check on him. But his body was already cold and lifeless. I could feel the cold coming from his body. His body was unnaturally frigid to the point it was freezing. He bled to death. That's odd. I don't see any blood splatter or anything around here. What is happening here? I hear something. I hear something near the shadows. Who is it? I point my gun towards the shadows. I can hear breathing. But whoever it is isn't coming out from the shadows. I won't ask you again. Come out or I'll shoot. A few seconds of silence. Suddenly, a black shadow reaches out to me. I quickly step back. I whip my gun towards the shadows. I pull the trigger. Kaoru. Wait, who's talking? Don't tell me. Wait. Was that the sister? Did she recognize him? Well, Kotone's still in the car. I hope Mr. Rindo is alright. I'm still inside Mr. Rindo's car. I look at my phone as I wait for him to return. That call earlier. This is Rindo speaking. Sir, is that you? Sir, please, help! From the looks of it, it doesn't look like anything going on inside that building. I wonder what's going on. Then suddenly, I notice a familiar figure come down slowly from the skies. Ew, what the? In his arms was Mr. Rindo. Il? Mr. Rindo! I jump out of the car, to which Il suddenly stops. Stop. Don't come any closer. I stop in my tracks as I hear Ill's rarely stern tone. Then I notice Canis appear from behind Ill. He didn't look very well either. Ill? Canis? What's going on? What happened to Mr. Rindo? I try to hold back my shaking as Ill calmly explains the details. They went to the GPM right after I called. Scoping out the building, they found a number of GPM staff on the floor. Most of them were already dead, but amid the bodies, they saw Mr. Rindo in critical condition. So they quickly dove into the building. Based on what they saw there, they assumed the GPM was attacked, but they decided to prioritize Mr. Rindo's safety first and fled. And now, they said that they sensed something like a hex coming from Mr. Rindo. A hex? A curse to a resented opponent for a disaster to befall them. In this game, it refers to a curse that gnaws away at the target's life. Hex? This is like kind of the first time we've had like kind of a reference towards that kind of magic. Other than, like, things transforming and stuff, but I'm not sure what it is, but I notice Ill nod hearing me say the word. Indeed. I am resistant to curses, so I can bear the hex within the area, but it's probably best you stay away from him while the hex is in effect. But can we take him to the hospital? It is wise that we do not. There's no telling how far it will spread. Medical practices of mortals will not help. We should head back to Enchante and see what we can do from there. I feel myself getting pale seeing Mr. Rindo's lifeless face. All I could do was nod in response to their suggestions. Maybe Miser will know what to do. He knows dark magic, right? I returned back to Enchante with Ill and Canis in tow. We carried the unconscious Mr. Rindo to an open room in Enchante. Everyone there has come to see how Mr. Rindo is doing. Miser and Ill cast something in the area to allow me to go near him, but no matter what we do, we can't seem to get rid of whatever is eating away at Mr. Rindo. Ugh. 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 He is not faring well. This isn't anything but normal. He doesn't look injured externally, but life has been slowly leaving his body. Mr. Rindo! Mr. Rindo's body is smattered with black all over. It must be the hex Ill mentioned. No doubt that's making Mr. Rindo suffer. To think I was talking with him casually a few hours ago. Said he'd return, but not like this. Why is this happening? I'm frustrated, knowing that all I can do is pray for his recovery. For now, I need to let the patrons care for him. I stand there just looking at the immobilized Mr. Rindo, moaning in agony. Okay. What is going on? Alright. It's mid-afternoon. Everyone is at Cafe Enchante. Miser, Canis, Ill, and Ignis are there. Karia heard the news early this morning and he came running by to see how he can help. They all decide on what they can do and investigate what happened at the GPM. As for the owner of the cafe, she is currently with Rindo and offering whatever care she can. Alright, so I guess this is the perspective of everyone else but Kotone. She's not in the room. So, how are things, Canis? We went to the GPM using Karia's appointment as a reason to go in. We spoke with the staff there, but it seems no one noticed anything happening. I asked if they saw anything strange, but with so many people working there, they all came back saying they're not sure. Really? Maybe they're just covering it up? A bunch of people sound like they just died in the building at night. How about you, Ignis? I got nothing. I talked with the GPM guy stationed at Bestia, but they haven't heard a damn thing from headquarters. I see. I've been trying to lift the hex, but nothing seems to work. It's gonna take a while to determine where the hex came from, and how to dispel it. Damn hex. Pain in the ass. These two hands can break a nose, but they can't break a hex. I have to admit, I am not sure why Rindo would have fallen prey to the hex. Canis, ill. Neither of you saw who attacked Rindo? Unfortunately, no. We did see many other victims besides Rindo there, though. Which is also why it's quite peculiar that no one seems to know what happened that night. Damn it all! What the hell is happening? With Rindo down, there isn't much we can do now. It was then we heard footsteps. Oh, Kotone came back down. This is her perspective now. I come down to the main floor to grab a sip of water with what little time I have. I notice the usual motley crew talking with each other. It hits me that I haven't tended to the cafe today like an owner should. I'm sorry, everyone. Let me get something ready. Just sit down and relax, will ya? You're not gonna be able to make anything stressed out like that. Mind you, you should really go to sleep. You haven't slept at all, have you? No. I did want to go to sleep, but I kept thinking the worst of what would happen if I wasn't awake to tend to him. I spent so much time thinking of what I should do that the morning had snuck up on me. I'll go and keep an eye on him for now. I can keep him nice and cool. He has a point. Water can get lukewarm pretty quick, so having Karia keep things cold would probably be better. Well, if you say so, I'll take a break. Sleep well, you hear? With that, I go to my bedroom to rest. I still can't get rid of all this built-up anxiety. I'm not so sure I can sleep at this rate. Three days have passed since bringing Mr. Rindo here. Okay. That sounded like the steps just sounds like someone like tumbling down the stairs, not really walking. Hey, I heard that Rindo wake up. Woke up? Where is he? How is he? Canis and Ignis rush into the room as I help Mr. Rindo up so that I can sip on some water. Both of you, calm down, will you? Mr. Rindo is still sick. I guess I won't be getting my beauty sleep with you two running around. He is still in pain, but the sight of Mr. Rindo awake makes Canis and Ignis let out a sigh of relief. Aw, they care about him, even though they Even though they freaking bully him, they still like him. Well, it's about time you woke up. Everyone was worried about you. Hard helped by keeping your temperature down too. That closeted game freak even put his games down to work with Miser to find a cure. I see. I must have caused a lot of problems. Heh. Well, I guess I need to pay you all back for making guys run around for me. Heh, that's a good idea. Alright, let me grill up some steak for you. Wait, hang on, Ignis, you just woke up. I am not sure if grilled meat is a good choice for him. And with that, the two rush out of the room while debating what to prepare for Mr. Rindo. With the room now empty and silent, he lets out a sigh. Are you alright? You still have a fever, so... Mr. Rindo quickly stops me from finishing my thought by quietly saying that he's alright. I feel a shiver run down my spine as I think of his lifeless face from earlier. He was so pale. It was as if he was drained of all his blood. I was so worried I thought he'd never wake up again. I thought I made you so worried for me, considering Mr. Swan asked me to take care of you. But please don't worry about me. On the contrary, you should rely on me to take care of you. Just let me be worried, got it? I'll take responsibility of getting you back into tip-top shape again. Heh. Looks like I'm in luck then. I try to smile seeing Mr. Rindo joke about a situation. But I can't get myself to smile seeing his body like that. How can I smile in this condition? The hex. His body has been covered in black by the hex even after he woke up. Actually, it looks worse now than it did before. Mr. Rindo, what happened back there? Cadis and Il mentioned that there were others around who fell victim when they found you. But no one at the GPM is acknowledging or admitting to know what happened. Which probably means that someone is purposely trying to hide what happened that night. Also, who attacked you, Mr. Rindo? Mr. Rindo pauses for a bit. He hesitantly begins to speak. I'm not sure, but I had something before I lost consciousness. He closes his eyes and frowns in suffering. I wait in silence for what he'll say next. I heard a voice. A voice? Yeah, my younger sister, Shizuku's voice. Shizuku's voice? Come to think of it, we've been trying to get in contact with Mikado to no avail. I'm worried that Mikado was also in danger from what happened back there, but if what Mr. Rindo heard is true, I try my best to say something to help ease the tension Mr. Rindo held. You know, maybe we can think about it a bit later. First, let's get you back in shape. I try to brighten the tone, but Mr. Rindo simply nods in agony. His body is badly hurt, but his soul is probably hurting even more. Mr. Rindo lets out a smile after he rolls back down on the bed. I'm going to sleep a bit more. You mind brewing me some coffee later? Notice that they're not showing how he looks. I wonder if they just don't want to draw the black all over him. Heh, I don't think it's good for your stomach to drink coffee right after you wake up. We both chuckle a bit before Mr. Rindo slowly falls asleep. I can hear him snoring already. Mr. Rindo must be exhausted beyond belief. I can only assume he forced himself up to bring us all a little relief. Putting himself last is so like Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo, please get better soon. I'll have the coffee ready whenever you wake up. I gently pull the blanket onto him. Can't take my eyes off Mr. Rindo's sleeping face. I leave the room after spending a few moments there. I recall what Mr. Rindo told me earlier. I wonder if what he told me is true. When he was afflicted with the hex, he said he heard his younger sister Shizuku's voice. If so, was Mikado around there too? Considering how close he was to Shizuku. No. Shizuku, rather Ku, is a Type 2 non-human. I thought Type 2 non-humans are unable to talk. I try to think, but there are too many unknowns for me to come up with a conclusion. In any case, it's great that Mr. Rindo finally came to and is able to talk. I just need to worry about making sure he's well again. I keep pacing back and forth as I ponder what I should do. I then notice Miser and Il, who went missing in the morning, talking together near the stairs. Ah, Miser! Il! Mr. Rindo woke up! I thought Miser and Il would leap in joy from the good news. But for some reason, they don't look very happy. And I was thinking about making some porridge. Oh, and you should see Ignis. He's all into grilling some meat for him. He's still resting in the room, but I'm hoping a few good meals will make him feel better and... He won't. Huh? Did I hear him wrong? I asked them to speak a little louder, but neither of them seemed to want to say anything. We found out what the hex was. It eats away at the life force of anything that it comes in contact with. It's like losing your max HP in a video game. You can't recover lost max HP. Wait a second. Huh? But... You're lying, right? He came too, didn't he? I mean, he's still in a bit of pain, but... I doubt it's just a bit. The pain he's going through is strong enough to make mortals cry in agony. If he really looks like he's only in a bit of pain, then it's probably just him putting on a brave face. Those words hit me bluntly on the head like a hammer. Wait, so what was that smile earlier? My vision begins to blur as I falter a step back. It's not over. Miser continues with cold, hard truth. There's no use hiding it, but... Kotone, promise me you'll keep your cool. What is it? Rindo, Won't last more than 2 days. Huh? My mind goes blank. What Miser just said is simply not registering in my mind. Did he just say 2 days? 2 days what? Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo's life. Only 2 more days? You're lying! My legs begin to tremble as I fall against the wall. Why? What's going on? He was so calm. He was smiling back at me like how he usually does. And now he's going to die? I understand this is sudden. It's natural not to accept it at first. But this is Rindo's current situation. Isn't there anything we can do? I muster whatever strength in me to ask, to which Il quietly shakes his head. There's nothing we can do now. The only possible option is to somehow remove the hex completely. Well, then, we can. After we discover the details of the hex, we search the GPM to find the source of it. But we weren't able to find anything. So as it stands, there's nothing we can do about it. How about Miser? I quickly turn and employ Miser for a cure, to which he shakes his head. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do either. Sure, everyone thinks I'm a demon lord that can do anything, but never actually saved anyone before. I hate to say this, but I am a demon king, so all I can do is cause destruction. Mind you, we haven't given up yet. We will do what we can to help, but... They both promise me that they'll do their very best to save Mr. Rindo. But... their eyes were devoid of hope. It was as if they were saying that he's already seemingly impossible. It's deep into night now. I'm looking at the ceiling in a daze. I've been like this for nearly an hour now. Can't seem to get myself to fall asleep. I see. I must have caused a lot of problems. Oh, the ticking clock. Mr. Rindo's words come and go from my mind as I hear the clock tick and talk. Heh. Well, I guess I need to pay you all back for making you guys run around for me. He was smiling. I thought he was going to be okay. And yet... he's going to die. No. No. My heart is rejecting reality. But Mr. Rindo hasn't woken since then. Miser and Il would never lie about something like that. Then it's really true. Haha.
Which means I have this all to myself tonight. Splendid. I see. Well then, I guess all that cooking I did before didn't go to waste. I should be back in about 15 minutes or so.
The time I spent with Mr. Rindo flees from my memories. He said he'd be back. We were only separated for a short while. I won't be able to see Mr. Rindo as his usual self anymore. He said he wouldn't mind taking up cooking again. The more I recall memories of Mr. Rindo and I, the more the reality of his death creeps up on me. My eyes begin to water with tears when I hear my phone ring amid the silence of the night. I grab it quickly and look at the display. Mikado? We haven't heard from him in a while. The one person we couldn't reach. Hello? Is this Mr. Mikado? I hurriedly reply, to which I'm greeted with silence from the caller. But soon enough, a voice comes through, hesitantly. I need to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death for Rindo. I can't talk now. Come to the park. By yourself. Huh? And he just hangs up. He cuts the line before I have a chance to reply. I look at my smartphone and think about the call for a bit. If what Mr. Rindo said was true, and his younger sister Shizuku did attack him, then Mikado must be involved in some sort of way. But if that's true, then this could be dangerous. But Mikado sounded like he was suffering. We have a choice. Head to the park or don't go to the park. I think you have to pick option 1. Says if you pick option 2, the route just ends. So I'm guessing that's a bad end. So let's head to the park. We don't want things to end now. I know it's dangerous to head out alone. But if there's a way to save Mr. Rindo, I better get going. I'll have to take my chances if there's even a sliver of hope remaining. Il is dressing in his room, tired from his investigations, and Canis is keeping watch of Enchante. I need to try to make my way out without them noticing. In any case, I quickly get myself ready as quietly as possible and leave my room. Nothing good happens when you go out alone, Kotone. You're gonna get kidnapped or something. Sure do get kidnapped a lot. The park is dimly lit by the moonlight. He's there. Mikado's standing by himself. Thank goodness! You came! He doesn't have Ku with him. Mikado! He looks alright. I was a bit worried you wouldn't come. After all, I'm the prime suspect for what happened. But I sort of felt you'd come regardless, too. You're about the only person who didn't disapprove of my relationship with Shizuku. What is going on at the GPM? Been asking that for a while. What is eating away at Mr. Rindo's life? I want to ask those questions, but Mikado starts shaking his head. I know there's lots of questions, but I don't have much time.
You want to talk about Rindo, yes?
I listened quietly for his words. It was then I noticed that Mikado doesn't have Ku with him. Ku, rather, or Shizuku rather. I wonder where she is.
Even without Shizuku, I still consider Kaoru Rindo to be my friend. So, I want to save Rindo. I hope you don't doubt me. No matter what it takes, I want to save my friend.
No matter what it takes. The foreboding of that isn't very comforting. What is Mikado wanting to say? As carefully as Mikado looks at me with dull eyes.
What about you, Kotone? Your relationship with Rindo seems to be going well. No, much more than well. What do you think? If you have the means to save him, but it isn't something he wants, will you still try to save him? I made a similar choice before. Though the circumstances aren't the same, the choice of keeping a loved one alive is. And I resorted to means that were met with horrible results.
I don't need to ask him what he's talking about. Mikado is talking about Shizuku. He's also referring to Mr. Rindo too. All I could do is stand there dazed until Mikado walks towards me. He slowly reaches his arm out.
This is a non-human transformer, metaplasia. It's pure evil created by the GPM. As its name states, it transforms humans into non-humans.
What? They can do that? Humans into non-humans? I mean, Shizuku did do something to also transform herself in a horrible freak accident. But yeah, when I was thinking about like drugs, I'm always thinking about like the previous rounds. I was remembering how the Minotaurs were like drugged to go crazy. Is this like maybe the drug that was used on them? Does it just like turn non-humans crazy? What's it gonna do to people? So, is this what was used to transform Shizuku?
Rindo won't like this. After all, this goes against everything he believes and has ever believed in. But, if you want him to survive, you had to put his ego aside and change his life forever.
Mikado's eyes are still dull. This is like a big moral dilemma now. It's like, you get this a lot in real life, like, whether or not people want to live, even if it's not like the way they want to live, but you still want to keep them around. Looks like he's suffering and he doesn't want to do this to his friend. Oh. It looks like he's in regret. Still, Mr. Mikado shakes his head and forces himself to hand the vial to me.
This will save Rindo's life. But only you can save his soul. You didn't laugh or frown at me and Shizuku. And because of that, I'm sure you can save him.
Mikado lets out a weak smile, then turns his back on me. I hurriedly ask him a question. please wait. Where are you going, Mikado? Where is Shizuku? Mikado doesn't look at me and starts walking. I can't tell his expression with his back turned on me. Shizuku and I have something we need to take care of. It's something that can't be avoided. Take care of? Indeed. Only tragedy awaits, but once it's over, you and Rindo. He doesn't complete his line. He holds his words back and walks away. Wait! I have more I want to ask, and I hurry and make chase, but I was too late. Mikado's figure vanishes into the depths of darkness. What? I am left with a deafening silence and the breeze flowing through the night. Oh, Canis, you're behind me. Akira Mikado. Canis appears from the shadows, seeing me stand still in a stupor. Canis! I'm so sorry for sneaking out like this. Canis must have noticed I left and has been tailing me ever since. No need to apologize. I was able to track you fine. It is best we head back. Shall we? Okay. Well, doesn't really blame her for anything. He just watches her. Canis and I look in the direction that Mikado disappeared into. I subconsciously grasp the metaplasia tightly in my hand. The following day, I explained to everyone the medicine I received from Mikado. I also talk in detail regarding Shizuku. Non-human transformer? Metaplasia? Yes, that's what Mikado said. Does anyone know what it is? No. It's the first time I've seen it. Newsflash. From the looks of it, Mikado's behind all this. Canis, why didn't you just nab him and get this over with? I'm gonna drink some water. Apologies. I judged incorrectly. I was planning to intervene the moment I sensed danger. But you didn't sense anything dangerous, eh? Well, I guess I could have chased after Mikado the moment Canis showed up. I think you guys made the right choice. Shizuku Rindo is probably the attacker, so capturing Mikado wouldn't make much of a difference in our situation. And if what you said about him vanishing is true, then he probably used some kind of power. Be it Mikado or Shizuku, things would have been worse if you had been affected by the hex during the chase. How about we focus on what to do next instead of obsessing over what we should or shouldn't have done? Okay. To summarize, based on what we know, this Shizuku person seems to be the source of the hex. But the fact that we can't find her is proof of her powers as a non-human. We don't know how the hex works either. We look at each other and frown. Yeah, there's like a lot of hexes or like curses. You have to get rid of the one who cast it. So I don't know if like killing Shizuku would be an option. I don't know. That's like that in some games. It was then I noticed that Karya has come down to the ground floor.
Karya! How is Mr. Rindo?
He hasn't woken up at all.
I see.
Mr. Rindo hasn't woken up since the last time I spoke with him. When is he gonna wake up? For all we know, he may never wake up again and he'll simply pass away. After hearing that he hasn't woken up, everyone in the room turns their attention towards the metaplasia on the table. So, what's the move? Time is not on our side. If we want to save Rindo, we need to decide before the day is out. Yeah, you didn't really answer my question.
Just out of curiosity, but there is any assurance that using this will save Rindo?
What to do? We just have Mikado's word for it. With Mr. Rindo unable to respond, we need to make the call amongst ourselves. I know we can't give him a choice. We're choosing for him. But turning into a non-human, transforming Mr. Rindo would mean that we're gonna disregard his beliefs and wishes. We're gonna totally destroy his identity. After all, Mr. Rindo kept repeating to me about attaining happiness as a human. What should I do? I wonder what everyone's thinking. Okay, so we have to talk with everyone, I think. Talk with Miser, see what he thinks.
Miser? What do you think we should do?
Miser's looking down and deep in thought. After a few moments have passed, he reluctantly begins to speak. Humans turning into non-humans is no different from being born again. It means that they are forging everything they lived for in their mortal life, or foregoing rather. Foregoing everything they lived for in their mortal life. He has to start anew. It's not just a physical change for a human to turn into a non-human. Wait, I already talked with Miser. Why is he giving me? I guess we'll talk to Canis. I should talk with someone else. Talk to Canis.
Canis? What are your thoughts on humans turning into non-humans?
Canis mumbles to himself. I am unable to answer your question properly. I have been a non-human from birth, hence I am unaware of the moral dilemma of a human turning into a non-human. I understand the situation, but I am sorry I cannot offer you the wisdom you seek.
Oh, don't worry. You don't have to apologize.
But if there is one thing I can say, it is that you will have to accept his fate, regardless of which path you choose to take. Like, it's kind of weird that they're saying that. Like, I have the option to talk to Miser twice. Let's talk with Il next, though.
Il? What are your thoughts, Il? You know about all this?
It's unusual to see him hesitate to speak. I guess he's as troubled about this as I am now.
I believe that one of the beautiful aspects of being human is that they can make their own decisions. Free will. Is making this decision for him without his consent something that we can deem morally correct? Even if we save his soul, wouldn't we have technically killed the man?
Il is right in that, even if we do save his life, that would kill the human that was Kaoru Rindo that we all know. But not doing anything isn't gonna help stop him from dying. I should talk with someone else. Talk with Ignis. Ignis? What are your thoughts? You have to ask? Just use the damn thing. Wow, he's like the only one without any doubts. It's like, just do it. Just do it! Ignis quickly and nonchalantly responds to my query. It's not like you got a lot of options. You just leave him as is. The dude's gonna croak. What? Listen, we can worry about this human and non-human nonsense later. Worrying is a luxury in comparison to him dying, got it? So just get it over with. Ignis is making sense. If Mr. Rindo dies, there's nothing we can do, period. My mind is clouded with thoughts. Mr. Rindo suffers seeing Shizuku turned into a non-human. Is he gonna be the same as Shizuku? Is he gonna, like, be able to talk? I hope he's able to talk. Then isn't turning him into a non-human a miserable fate that'll stay with him forever? After getting their input, I can't decide. But that isn't surprising in the slightest. After all, there's no telling which decision is either right or wrong. The hell y'all worried about? It's better than just seeing him die. Or do you want Rindo dead?
No one said such a thing. We're considering what Rindo would want.
No one is wrong, which is why we can't come to a solution. The tension in the air is suffocating me slowly. Oh, we didn't ask Karya's input. Karya, someone who lived their life thinking they're a human, breaks the silence. I'm just a kid, so this is all beyond me, but I kinda know the pain of being a non-human. I want to live as a human, but everyone treats me like the plague and keeps their distance from me. It's got so bad that I actually thought I'd prefer to be dead. His words hold weight. His life is exactly what Mr. Rindo's may be if he turns into a non-human. This medicine shouldn't be used. Thought crosses everyone's mind. But I'm happy right now. He lets out a gentle smile. I have parents who accept me, and the fairies who let me choose my path. I also have a place I could call a second home right here, despite all the rowdy patrons. And it's all thanks to Mr. Rindo. Aside from my parents who are taking care of me now, Mr. Rindo was the only other who encouraged life. Karya's eyes swell with tears as he tries to maintain a strong appearance. I want him to live. I haven't been able to thank him yet. I want to show him thanks for saving me. I want to thank him for telling me to live. So... Karya... I see a person in front of me who cares deeply for Mr. Rindo. But that applies to me and everyone here. My heart quietly finds solace in hearing Karya's plea. I cough a bit to clear my throat. I then pat Karya on his head with a smile. The time to decide is creeping up on me. It's okay. I'm sure he'll be fine. The room is quiet. The silence amplifies the clock's ticking. I sit on the side of the bed and look at Mr. Rindo's sleeping face. Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo's body is failing by the minute. He's panting in pain as his life was counting down towards its demise. I look at the vial of metaplasia in my hand. He said before that he thought it would have been best to kill his younger sister than see her as a non-human. All this time, he kept preaching to me about attaining happiness as a human. I want him to live. I don't want him to die. Which leaves me with one choice. I understand what I need to do, but seeing Mr. Rindo brings me such doubt. Is it really right to administer the dose of metaplasia? I reach out my hand to Mr. Rindo. I'm not sure if I'm doing this to see if he's breathing or if he'll respond back to me. All I know is that I want to hold his hand. I grab Mr. Rindo's hand tightly. It's time. Oh no! We choose! We only have one choice. It says again, if we pick option 1, if we don't use it, the route will just end. Oh my god. There's like so many ways for Mr. Rindo to die in this round, it looks like. Alright, so we have to pick option 2. We have to administer the metaplasia. We're not gonna let this end. I hold the vial of metaplasia firmly in my hand. Humans and non-humans in coexistence. Sounds like a good idea, but I've seen my fair share of how they end. I understand. But it's not just that. Like I said before, I've seen my fair share of humans and non-humans. I've seen them come together as friends, lovers, and families. But most of them had bad endings. Like some stories, humans and non-human relationships have their share of tragedies. I understand. Humans and non-humans aren't meant to be together. I understand already. I shake my head to rid of these thoughts. I slowly move closer to Mr. Rindo. Oh no. You're not looking good. He's sweating a lot. Although I don't see the black substance. Maybe it's under the bandage. My heart is overcome with sorrow as I feel his cold body. I whisper to Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo. If he drinks this, our relationship, the relationship we slowly built, will probably crumble into nothing. I mean, you don't want him to die either. The happiness he saw as a human and the relationship he saw between us. Even so, I want to hear his voice again. I want him to live. Mr. Rindo, here. He doesn't respond. I tip the vial of medicine into his mouth. Mr. Rindo coughs and spills the medicine out of his mouth in pain. Probably doesn't have the strength to swallow. Or maybe he wants to die. It felt as though he was attempting to convey that to me. Seeing his life fade away will make me regret, suffer, and cry in sorrow. So, even if you want to die, I won't let you. May my prayers be heard. Oh. Are we giving him a smooch? Girl, did you put that in your mouth? Get a syringe or something. I put the metaplasia in my mouth and gently administer the dose. Girl, you don't want that in your mouth, though. Is that gonna turn her into a non-human, too? Like, why can't you just get a syringe or something? Please. Please. Please live. I pray for it, even if he doesn't want it. Oh, we're giving him a smooch, at least. I'm prepared to pay anything just to see him live. I will carry full responsibility for turning you into a non-human. Even if you aren't human anymore, I'll never turn my back on you. So please, don't suffer. If you need to resent something, resent me. Just please. Please live. Oh, final chapter. We only... Okay. Wait, are we gonna see what's gonna happen? Oh, it starts off in Rindo's perspective. Oh, I want to see what happens. Oh no, he's waking up. Alright, we're not... we're gonna continue this in the next episode, though. Oh man! This is so sad! I mean, to be honest, though, I'm liking the romance. The last route we did was a bit of an emotional whirlwind. Like, it had different emotions, like anger and a lot of drama, but like kind of seeing the slower burn of like the romance and now like the agony of like not wanting to see him die. It's very, very sad, very melancholy, and yeah. I'm actually liking Rindo's route. Wasn't expecting to like his route this much because he's the only like human boy, but all right, but we'll continue this in the next episode. I want to see how it ends, but yeah, we've been going for a while. All right, anywho, hope you guys been having a fun time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.